All right, folks. Hello. Welcome back to Unofficially Opinionated. I'm Christian. That's Nate. I'm not sure which way he's going to be looking on the screen, but he's over there somewhere.
I guess I'm to your right.
Right. So if I go like this, there we go. He's over here.
Yeah.
The mirroring thing and the yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Anyway, we're back. We're ready to watch this next episode. So let's dive in, shall we?
Let's go.
I don't believe my relationship is any concern of yours.
Obviously not. Save where it intrudes on my girl's welfare and quality in life and coffee. Oh, that's nice. Somebody's got a sense of humour or an interesting kink. Right away, puts a smile on your face.
Very good. And how can I help you?
Well, sir, as you may know, as a human police officer, I can unobtrusively monitor you without raising suspicion.
Indeed you can.
Great. Well, could you come in and do it inside, please? Only because it's really noisy out here. I can't hear anything.
Really?
All me.
Does she still think she's fooling him, really?
I don't think so.
To drink.
Clueless. You're like, oh.
But when I said yes just then,
No.
that was an error, which proves that I'm human.
Of course.
What? Oh, does she really think that she's fooling him?
Yes.
To London.
Yes, that's right.
They're
I
clueless.
was recently transferred to London from another human settlement.
Oh yeah.
Is
Which
she
one?
just lying through her teeth?
Word with you, Angel, in private.
So, okay, that is a good question, Nate. So, is she lying, right? So, for an angel to be undercover as a human,
Mm-hmm.
you would have to lie, right? Because you're not a human, and none of that is true. Now, is the lying part a problem if they lie to like other angels, or to like is that where the issue is with lying?
I think the issue with lying is that once someone understands that you're lying, it's hard to understand. It's hard to believe you afterwards.
Well, true, but I'm just thinking about when Aziraphale lied, right? Like he thought he was doomed, whereas
Right,
she's
yes.
clearly lying,
Yeah,
right? But like this isn't a problem.
but this is what I'm thinking about. That's why I said that, is because Aziraphale made such a huge deal out of lying. And I understand your point that he was lying to an angel, so maybe he thought it was more egregious, I suppose. But for them, I think he did what people think God does just in general, which is kind of evade the point, right? But in that one instance, Aziraphale actually blatantly lied.
Right.
She is doing the same thing. She's blatantly lying. She's
Yeah.
not evading the question or something like that. She's literally
She's just
saying,
telling lies.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
just lying.
I'm a human that came from this place. I'm a constable. My name is
Right.
Inspector
Yeah.
Constable, right? Like
Right.
that's all just
Yeah.
lies. Like it's not
Yeah.
true. Let's just say in the real world, right? An
Mhm.
angel comes in the guise of someone else, right? Like that's
Mhm.
not the truth.
Right.
But is that the same type of deception? Right.
I don't know if it's an actual deception. I mean, I guess it really depends if you consider that a deception or not.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like if an angel comes in the form of a man, I don't know if an angel has actually ever come in the form of a man. I think what happens is angels come and humans recognize them as men, right? So like what happened with Abraham before the angels got to Sodom and Gomorrah, right? They recognized them as humans, and then they recognized them, and then Abraham recognized them as angelic beings,
So you
right?
think that their true form looks the same as humans?
I think what happens is that it kind of gets to prevent us from maybe like exploding. We see them in a way that we can perceive them without dying
Which is
immediately
not
on the
their
spot.
true form, which is
I think that they just, I think it is kind of like a veil that kind of covers them, and then we're able to perceive them in the way that we need to perceive them. But their who they are isn't hidden from us unless we want it to be, right? So if we wanted to know who their real um who they really are, it they wouldn't lie. They'd be like, I am an angel, sort of thing.
I'll be again, this is way in the future, but I'll be curious to see what they are trying to say
Right.
when you look at the whole totality of the series, right? Like,
Right. Hmm.
if nothing else, I enjoy the fact that it's trying to say something. I
Right.
don't too much like watching things that are just like peer, 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 and stuff happening.
Right.
It's like, even if I disagree with your premise and what you're trying to say, at least
Hmm.
say something.
Right.
That's just how
Yeah.
I feel about it.
Yeah.
Say something. Make it interesting, right? Like have a purpose, have an agenda, if you will, but like
Hmm.
try to say something. I
Right.
think that's important. I don't know. Anyway.
And so for a fact, I haven't researched this. So for a fact they're planning on doing 3 seasons, and that's what's planned, 3 seasons.
Yes, that from what I've read and seen
Hmm.
in the comments, please let us know. But my understanding is that there's a planned season 3.
Hmm.
Neil even said if for some reason they can't do it as
Hmm.
a series on Amazon,
Hmm.
then he'll at least write like a graphic novel or a book or something.
What does that say? Nietra.
I don't know.
Is it backward, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
C-U-R curtain? Yeah, but why? What does curtain mean?
I have no idea.
No one spoil it for us if it means something important. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
A weaver, then. Weaving. Brilliant idea.
Basket weaving.
I remember exactly where I left my loom.
Farming. But you left your loom on your farm, didn't you?
He is just not helping.
Is where me and my pal sleep.
Nothing. We're getting along terribly well together.
You realise I can feel when you drive the Bentley under the speed limit?
I'm sure you can't.
I can. So put your foot down.
Right, all right.
He's always foot all the way down.
I'm awfully sorry. It doesn't seem to want to.
You might want to think about washing your hands.
Yeah.
Age in a few years, I'm telling you.
You're a funny one, mister.
Oh, doctor. I'm not a surgeon.
Of course.
He said, Mr. Doctor.
To render that freshly buried body unsellable.
Oh, dear. It's terrible, buying the bodies. But I'm trying to teach students anatomy and basic physiology. I don't like it any more than you do, Dr. McPhail. The trouble is, there are never enough murders.
I'm sorry.
Murderers get hanged. No one cares if we cut up murderers.
Excellent idea.
Oh.
More murders, huh?
Yeah, I misunderstood it too.
There we go.
Of bodies. Why not dig them up yourself?
All right, I have to say that's so interesting to me. Because you think about how Aziraphale was like, well, it's wrong, right, to dig
Yeah.
up the body, right? And I'm sure there was a point in time where people felt like cutting on a dead body was like somehow like inappropriate, right?
Right.
Whereas now, like, not only can you, at least in the US, designate that, hey, like, you can take my organs when I die and use them for somebody
Right.
else, but like, you can
Mhm.
also like donate your body to science for this particular purpose, right? Like,
Right. Why he's the one that can pay. I mean, like, I feel like Aziraphale is just not looking at the whole thing, which is
he
frustrating,
really,
right?
but he doesn't usually, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And in this case, it's really pretty like in your face. Like, she is getting paid, so she and her, I don't know if that was her mom or her partner or whatever, but that they can live a reasonably nice life by delivering a dead body that belongs to literally no one else.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
ultimately, as she said, they're not using it anymore.
Right,
Like the body
exactly.
is dead.
Right. The body is dead. The She's getting paid to deliver the body, and he can teach his students with the body, so that they can increase the longevity of the population. It's very frustrating. I'm not upset at the show. I'm upset because these type of things exist where people are just like, yeah, like you were saying, it's just they make it so black and white, and you're just like, well, could you just think a little bit? Just reflect on what the big picture is, right? No one is actually getting hurt. Okay. Like no one is getting hurt.
Right.
And the body is just going to decompose, right? So much better that you use that, especially at this time when they didn't have this whole like consent to, donating your body to science and stuff like that, because they just weren't there yet, I guess. Um, they had, I don't know, they had kind of a treasure trove of something that they could use to improve life. And Aziraphale was like, don't do it because I know what's right and wrong, and you shouldn't do it.
Right. And it's wrong.
And
Like,
it's wrong. Yeah.
but what's wrong about it?
And that's the point. Like, what is his conception of wrong spiritually? The human experience also gets to show the world what the law, as in the holy law, what the law actually means. And I kind of feel like this is maybe what this show might be hinting at or whatever, because that a lot of religious people want to make it seem like the law is about a bunch of thou shalts and thou shalt nots sort of thing, and like you have to do this and this and this to get into heaven, like you have to be baptized to get into heaven. I highly disagree with that. And I don't think that the law is anything about that, right? And I think this show is trying to explain, and if it's not, at least I think that the law isn't about um, a bunch of rules and regulations that need to be followed. And so the human experience gets to show the entire universe what the law really is about. So up until the human experience, they just heard it. And I think that's kind of what caused one of the things that caused a huge rift in heaven, is because they've only heard it, but they never really experienced it. They never, whatever. I mean, obviously you get to experience God's love, but like you would have questions. You could have questions, right? But you'd have no way to experience those, to get those answers, right? God would know, but God wouldn't be able to show you because, like we were saying before, perhaps your mind isn't developed enough, or you haven't lived long enough, or you haven't experienced or something or whatever. Now, according to our religion, at least, all of the universe is looking at us, right? And they're learning from us, and we get to experience the true meaning of the law, which is love, on a personal level.
I was trying to think of a good segue, but I don't have one. So I'll just say, hey, folks, thanks to our Patreon subscribers. I have no clever segue, but
it's all
to
good.
thank you for supporting us.
Yes,
specifically our visionary level. We love you guys. Babs, Hot Space, and Kate. We get to chat in the Discord quite a bit and talk about, video games we like, board games we like, shows we're looking at, deep diving into the episodes and what we liked and didn't like. And so it's a good time in there.
Books.
We've got some plans coming up to do some gaming together, whether it be some online board games or
on it.
maybe we're going to run through some Baldur's Gate 3 and some other things. So, if you want to be tapped into that kind of stuff, maybe at that visionary level, maybe upgrade to there or start there if you want. That'd be cool. If not, hey, cool. You can be Reflector. You can also, Reflector gives you access to, not the Discord, but you do have access to the unedited or full versions of the reaction. So we can't put all that on YouTube because they would just take it down.
Yep.
for obvious reasons. But on Patreon, you can watch the whole, 2 hours or whatever it is. You can get that. And if that's too much for you and you just want to just say thank you to us, there's a level below that where you can just say, hey, look, I just want to say a little thank you, and you can do that. If you want to simply just say thank you, we have a buymeacoffee.com/unofficiallyopinionated. You can go there and just give a quick $5, say thanks. And we probably won't buy coffee with it, but we probably will help support what we do here. And
Yes.
that kind of a
That's
thing.
definitely
So,
what we'll be doing.
yes.
Also, I don't drink coffee, so.
Yeah, just not drink coffee.
Either end up with a knighthood or condemned as a resurrectionist and hanging from a rope.
Who was he with? Oh, I don't know. Just another mason. A mason? Well, he's a mason himself, isn't he? He was sitting with another one of them. We often get them in here. There's a lodge next door.
A mason.
A mason? My
Is
grandpa's a mason.
Fancy grey suit.
So was mine. Both of mine were.
Was he a big high up or something?
The Offload of Scotland.
That is so ridiculous.
Your likes again. Right, come on, let's get cracking. Angel, say something that convinces her that poverty is inevitably wonderful, life is worth living. Go on!
Right?
Inevitably there.
And then monsters like me.
Why?
Oh my God. What is going on in this episode?
Unless, how much have you got in your wallet? Me? How much, Dr. McFall?
About 90 guineas.
That should be enough, give her that.
But the virtues of poverty?
Yeah.
Oh, she is going to be shot by a grave gun or hanged if she doesn't top herself first. Hey!
He was still of the opinion that,
right.
if you're born poor,
It's
that was somehow like an ineffable plan and benefit
Right.
that, benefited you because you had more chances to be good.
Right.
Yes, or to learn.
Stupid. I mean, what do you think about that? That
I mean,
thought
so
process?
there's so thinking about like different, thinking about therapy and different ways of working through things. There is benefit to giving someone more opportunities to learn and correct, right? Like if I only can mess up once a year, I only get to learn once.
Right.
But if I can more regularly mess up in smaller ways, then that's more times I can learn. So if I'm slow to learn, then I get more times to learn it.
But how does poverty come into that?
Well, poverty, you're constantly struggling. And so you're constantly having to butt up against these struggle. I guess in his view, like the struggle gives many opportunities for you to have these situations where you have to choose, right?
Okay.
Do I do this thing or do I do the good thing? And you're constantly having to make these choices like every single day because you're poor.
Right.
Whereas rich, you don't have to constantly make these. I mean, it's a different degree, but you're not having to make these daily decisions about do I steal or not, for example, right? Like you're not really having to deal with that every day. But in this scenario, if you're that poor, every day is like, what am I going to do? Do I steal? Do I not? Do I do this? What am I doing to survive? And it's all these mini choices. I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm just saying,
you could see the idea behind it. I don't know
I
because
can
I
see what he
haven't really thought about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I think so. There is this quote from the Bible from Jesus, which is, it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven. So that, I guess, but doesn't really explain why it's impossible. It just says that it just kind of leaves the idea open that it is impossible, or not impossible, but very, very difficult, right? And we also don't know if that means like in their time or just in time general. But that's also playing around the fact that also in Proverbs it says the love of money is the root of all evil, right?
Right.
Which
The
is
love of, right.
what I like to look at is the fact that even if you are kind of born into poverty, and maybe he hinted at this in his whole whatever misguided thought process, um, that if you're born unwealthy, you can still definitely strive to make the life that you want for it, and you can still achieve it, and to not be afraid of doing that, right? So you get a lot of in religion, you get a lot of people who are afraid of becoming like successful, making money, because they think that it is that's why that's very important. The text of the love of money is because a lot of people say money is the root of all evil, and it's not that way. It's very easy to see how the love of money is the root of can be the the path that leads you down. I mean, yeah, the path that leads you to kind of just a bitter, a selfish existence, but people should not be afraid of money. They should not be afraid of success. And if you're born into a situation where you are not at an advantage, you can still become the person that you kind of dream to be, but also with morals. I'm not saying that rich people don't have morals. Most people who struggle, not most people, let me stop saying that. A lot of people that I have talked to who struggle want to help other people who struggle so that they don't struggle as much as they did. Like that's a common theme with people, and I understand that. I also think that's kind of dangerous. And this is coming from a person who's done nothing but struggle my entire life. Is it's I the re- I, and I just found this out on my own. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's because you're trying to help people who you think are struggling, who are actually struggling, but who don't want your help. You cannot force that upon them, you know?
Yeah.
And also you'll help people who are struggling. But if you don't allow them to kind of make fight for themselves, make their own way, you will put them at a disadvantage, because that will lead them to become can lead them to be complacent, and
Yeah.
not do as much as they can. So I feel like it's and I'm not saying not help them, but I feel like it can be a trap for people who are come from a disadvantaged situation like myself, um, and knowing, okay, I didn't like this feeling. I want to help other people who come from a situation like me. You have to remember how you came out of that situation. Yes, you definitely got help to get out of that situation, right? But also remember what you did for yourself,
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's a point where a lot of the time, if people understand the value of something and they
Mhm.
value it,
Right.
they can do at least what they can do to make it happen.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
We've seen this, right?
Yes, yes,
Not
yes,
not to
definitely.
try to be like, hey, everybody got bootstraps and get up and do it yourself. I did it, you
Right,
can do
yeah.
it. That
No.
people use that excuse, right? So it's a
Yeah.
fine line, right? Like it's not like, hey, everybody
That's
do
the
for
problem.
yourselves. I did it. If they can do it,
Right.
you can do it. Well, that's
Mhm.
that's not the same.
No.
Also, don't assume, oh, they are from X neighborhood, so they can't do any better.
Right. That's the
Right?
problem, yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
can, right? Like,
Mhm.
because I've seen a lot of this with my son's in and
I
other
know.
things. Like,
Oh.
it's people assuming, oh, they can't, so
Right.
I'm gonna do all this stuff for them,
Mhm.
and the people never ever understand the value of the thing,
Right. Yep.
right? Like, you don't understand this thing's worth thousands of dollars, but since
Right.
they just give it to you, You don't know, and so you treat
Right.
it like trash. And then
Mhm.
people are mad at you for not
Right.
respecting it when they didn't really help you understand, "Hey, look, this is valuable to you. Like, you need to put at least some effort into it
Yeah.
to show us that you value it."
But why is Gabriel holding the cross?
Ah, excuse me. I hate to be a bother, but do either of you gentlemen happen to possess a mobile phone?
Out.
Come on, honey. Put the hard brain.
I mean, we're not having a... what your partner said.
I know we're not. I suppose I owe you an apology.
No, you
This
don't.
one's-
It's just...
This one. Oh
I'd
no.
never...
She's about to get
I'm not
drenched.
that kind of person.
Mhm.
I know.
Which could help.
I'm not your type.
You have no idea.
Can't ask them a
Or
double
Gabriel,
negative.
if you're in there somewhere. If any harm comes to Aziraphale because of this, I will.
Yes.
Ooh. The what?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's too late for that now, isn't it?
Hmm?
It's always too late.
It's always too late? What's he talking about? I don't know. But y'all stay tuned for our review because we won't get
Yes.
into it in this one. But thanks for watching. It was fun. I guess we'll see how much of that you see on YouTube. But for those on Patreon, enjoy all the extra goodies of this
Yep.
hour and 40-minute long.
Well, just a little
episode.
bit less, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a doozy. So enjoy. If you want to see that, go ahead and subscribe there. But
Yep.
I guess we'll catch y'all next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, notification bell, all the fun stuff.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
See you next time. Oh, wow. Look at my Apple doing
Oh,
fun
look.
stuff.
I was wondering what
Oh,
that was
yes,
about.
it was the thumbs
my
up.
goodness. Oh, it was
I'll
a
do it
thumbs
again.
up.
I'll do it again. Ah!